Anderson Cooper 360, weeknights at 8 and 10 on CNN.
George Zimmerman, the man accused of fatally shooting Martin last year, presented new evidence that they claim shows that Martin was, quote, hostile and angry when the confrontation between the men took place. Martin's family accuses the defense of trying to prejudice the jury ahead of the trial. Here's David Mattingly.
One, do you need police, fire, medical?
Police, I just heard a shot right behind my house.
Shock, confusion, and fear. You can hear it in the voice of every 911 caller in the final moments of Trayvon Martin's young life.
He just said he shot him. Yes, the person is dead, laying on the grass.
Just because he's laying on the ground.
Oh, my God.
February 26, 2012, 17-year-old Trayvon Martin buys some Skittles and a bottle of iced tea, walks through a gated community of townhomes where he's staying with his father. That's when he catches the attention of neighborhood watch volunteer George Zimmerman.
They always get away.
That's Zimmerman's first impression watching Trayvon Martin walking alone.
This guy looks like he's up to no good or he's on drugs or something.
Less than a minute later, Zimmerman gets out of his car.
Are you following him?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't need you to do that.
Okay.
But then, just a few minutes later, there's another call.
911, do you need police, fire, medical?
Maybe both. I'm not sure. There's just someone screaming outside.
In the background, listen for the sound of a fight and a panicked voice yelling for help.
And is it a male or female?
It sounds like a male.
And you don't know why?
I don't know why. I think they're yelling help, but I don't know. Just send someone quick. Say stop.
10 seconds later, the shrieking continues. Then, a gunshot.
So you think he's yelling help?
Yes.
All right, what is your...
There's gunshots.
You just heard gunshots?
Yes.
How many?
Just one.
Just one. A shot to the heart, ending the life of Trayvon Martin. A bloodied and bruised George Zimmerman tells police it was self-defense.
I felt like my body was on the grass and my head was on the cement, and he just kept slamming it.
Zimmerman is not arrested. No charges immediately filed. Florida law allows people to use force in self-defense, the stand your ground law. But before investigators can go to a grand jury, a firestorm descends on Sanford.
Justice for Trayvon! Justice for Trayvon!
Thousands march through the streets with similar protests around the country. Even the president is disturbed.
If I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon.
44 days after he shoots and kills Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman is charged with second-degree murder, and he turns himself in. Zimmerman gets out on bail, but it doesn't last. When detailing his assets, he didn't tell the court about $130,000 in donations to a defense fund. He goes back to jail, gets out again, this time on $1 million bond. Since then, Zimmerman's sightings have been few and far between. His attorneys say he lives in fear, venturing out only in disguise and always wearing body armor. Each time he shows up in court, his weight gain is astonishing. Zimmerman's attorney says he's put on 120 pounds. Prosecutors may try to portray him as a profiler and a killer. And Zimmerman's defense is building its own profile of Trayvon Martin.
I'm not sure if it's recreation or whatever, but he's very used to fighting, that he has used some drugs in the past, and again, many 17-year-olds have, but that he has as well.
With the trial due to start in 2 weeks, Zimmerman's defense has released pictures and text messages suggesting the 17-year-old Martin was no stranger to pot, guns, and fighting. 3 months before he encountered George Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin sends text messages about a fight, saying his opponent didn't bleed enough, only his nose. Less than a week before the fatal encounter, Martin texted, "I hid my weed. It's wrapped." Important questions persist about what happened that night the two crossed paths. Who threw the first punch? Who is that on the 911 tapes crying for help? The answers will lead a jury to decide. Was this a case of self-defense or murder?
David joins us now. So the jury selection is just 2 weeks away. Now the defense is going to be asking you for a delay in the trial. What's the problem?
Well, they want a delay because they say they're not getting the evidence that they need to see from the prosecutors in a timely fashion. They've complained about this in the past, but now that we're so close to jury selection, this sort of accusation is taken very, very seriously by the court. In fact, the defense is asking for sanctions against the prosecutors. Part of that evidence they're complaining about not getting in a timely fashion were those uncomplimentary photographs that we just saw of Trayvon Martin, also the text messages, the material that came from his cell phone.
And there's a big fight now over what the jury will be able to actually see, right?
That's right. The prosecution wants to take those photographs, those text messages completely off the table so that the jury will not see them. But the defense is saying that if the prosecution wants to make character an issue and go after the character of George Zimmerman, then they want to be able to do the same to Trayvon Martin. So expect a very big fight over the future of that evidence.